think. He's good at setting traps. Has crazy power that he believes in. He has a great chin too because he's a guy. He'll let you get out punches and he'll still be coming at you. And then once he catches
Crawford's one of the best switch hitters, I think, since Marvin Hagler, and one of the most skillful boxers alive.
Errol Spence was left stunned, praising Terence Crawford's unbelievable training camp for the Canelo fight. Having shared the ring with Crawford, Spence acknowledged his exceptional ring IQ and elite skill set. Watching Crawford's recent training footage, Errol was shocked by the speed, precision, and footwork on display. Crawford looked like a monster in motion, sharp, explosive, and laser-focused. This version of Crawford is a dangerous force Canelo cannot afford to underestimate.
Right here, roll.
Reflecting on his fight with Errol Spence, Terence Crawford showed clear mutual respect between the two elite fighters. Known for his calculated and cerebral fighting style, Crawford explained how he systematically breaks down opponents before unleashing devastating flurries. His patience and strategic mindset remain crucial weapons in his arsenal.
How hard does Spence hit?
He didn't hit that hard.
Well, he never caught you that clean. That was probably the best shot he landed.
No, he caught me a couple of times, but I was surprised at how hard he didn't hit.
Really?
Given that everybody say, "Oh, he's a big puncher," he's this. I think he's just a volume puncher. I think he just wears opponents down, just wear them down. I don't think he has a one punch knockout. He have power, but it's not like boom, sleep. You know what I mean? I think it's like bam, oh, boom, 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 boom. And then he just wear you down.
Right. Yeah. That is a difference, right?
Because if you look at his career, you never seen him like knock nobody out with one punch. You never see him, dropping nobody with one punch. You always see him like wearing them down. That's why he goes so hard to the body, because he want to wear you down. Then once you get tired and once your body start weakening, everything start weakening. And those little punches that wasn't hurting start hurting.
Former world champion and analyst Chris Algieri brought a sharp comparison between Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. According to Algieri, Crawford has consistently dominated opponents with technical control, while Canelo has had moments where he was overwhelmed, most notably in his loss to Dmitry Bivol. Bivol's size, jab, and discipline dictated that bout, exposing vulnerabilities in Canelo's game. Algieri's perspective suggests that Crawford's style, rooted in adaptability, control, and precision, could cause similar problems, even as he moves up in weight.
And Terence Crawford, who do you think can be the boss that night? When you talk about these two guys, you talk about two guys, number one, you can't boss me around. Two guys, you can't even look at me a certain way without me feeling some type of way. These guys now have set their sights on one another. Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Obviously, we know the weight difference, but we've seen Crawford looks like he's coming up slowly to that weight class and kind of acclimating himself in real time. How do you see that fight playing out?
We're still pretty far away from that fight, and I'm going to hold my complete analytics on that. But I'll tell you this.
Contrast and compare. Maybe not a pick.
But I'll tell you this. I've seen Canelo pushed around. I've never seen Terence pushed around. So if we're talking about who's going to be the boss, I've never seen anyone boss Terence Crawford. I've seen Canelo get bossed. So that just psychologically, when you think about that, and this is a fight where I flip flop on both guys because there's so many good points. Yeah, but he's 168. Yeah, but it's Terence Crawford. He's undefeated. Well, yeah, but this guy's beating this, but stylistic. Even he hits him on the arm. There's so many different things you can talk about. But from a psychological standpoint, who's fresher, who's meaner, who wants it more? That's going to come into play.
As a boxing fan, how much fun is it to see those two attitudes come together? It's kind of like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object get ready to collide.
I've worked a lot of Canelo fights, and Canelo fight weeks are great. He plays to the crowd really well. His fans are awesome. I'm thinking about the Caleb Plant situation. I'm thinking about the Billy's Joe Saunders situation. When he gets that in his head that he's got an extra chip, he becomes a really dangerous man.
Veteran commentator Max Kellerman offered a balanced breakdown. He noted that while both Crawford and Canelo possess unique advantages, Crawford edges the contest based on recent performances and his all-around skill set. Kellerman highlighted Crawford's timing, switch-hitting ability, and knockout power, which have peaked impressively. In contrast, Canelo has shown signs of slowing, especially in his footwork and aggression. While Canelo's size could be a factor in clinches and exchanges, Kellerman ultimately sees Crawford as the sharper and more complete fighter at this stage.
But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford. Mm-hmm. But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah. You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who I would assume Canelo has.
You'd have to think, unless Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov. So, and Canelo, though he has not stopped anyone in a while, we've seen he's a real puncher at 68.
As far as speed, who has a better speed?
You would imagine Crawford, given the fact that he is the naturally small.
This mega fight presents fascinating dynamics. Crawford is moving into unfamiliar territory by jumping weight classes, which typically challenges speed and stamina. Meanwhile, Canelo, though experienced at this level, is not the explosive powerhouse he once was. His recent bouts show a shift toward cautious control rather than aggressive knockouts. This suggests that while Crawford faces a physical hurdle, Canelo's decline in certain areas evens the playing field. If Crawford brings elite footwork, ring IQ, and endurance, he absolutely has a path to victory.
For Canelo, obviously at 168, he has been a bit of the smaller man at that weight class. And in the last couple of years has had trouble finishing opponents and getting guys out of there like he would have at 160 or 154. So you have a bit of a duality there. Both guys coming into this fight in the, let's say, twilight of their careers, or maybe twilight of their primes, however you want to look at it. Canelo is going to be, I think, 35. Terrence is 38. So you have a similar situation, different paths, and different struggles for both fighters. But when you look at who has to do more in this fight, it's clearly Terrence Crawford as far as what he's giving up and sacrificing to win this third undisputed championship and to try to beat Canelo, who has only been beat twice in his career, one of which was Floyd Mayweather being slick and tagging Canelo with counter punches when Canelo missed. Being the smaller, lighter fighter and up there in age that was still able to take advantage of the youth and experience of Canelo Alvarez, but also just being a defensive maestro and able to counter off of that. Floyd is one of one. And then you have Dimitri Bivol, who was the bigger fighter. And the things that Canelo does very well didn't really hurt him too bad, right? The things that had carried Canelo up in division was his power and the ability to break an opponent down, maybe not stopping them in the early to mid part of.
At 168 pounds, Canelo has at times appeared undersized and has struggled to finish opponents the way he did at 154 or 160. In recent years, his power hasn't translated as effectively. Both fighters approach this clash from the twilight of their primes. Canelo at 35, Crawford at 38. While they face different challenges, it's Crawford who must overcome more. His sacrificing size, weight, and comfort to chase a third undisputed title and defeat a fighter who has only lost twice, once to Mayweather, who used speed, slick counters, and elite defense, and once to Dimitri Bivol, who used size and discipline to nullify Canelo's weapons. The question is, can Crawford, smaller, older, but razor-sharp, pull off a similar upset?
him in Dubai maybe a month ago. I saw him. He's big, and he has very good skills. He's one of my favorite boxers. He able to win this fight, but there is a lot of but, and even not but. There is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He need to get used to the power and pressure of 168, because it's different, big difference, to be honest. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself on the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able. He has good skills. He's awkward. He can use two boxing stance. It gives him benefits, of course.
I was at that same event in Dubai just before Christmas, and I saw him too, and I thought exactly the same thing, which is that he is quite big.
Yeah.
The clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez isn't just a battle of champions. It's a defining moment in modern boxing. Crawford, the smaller man, is daring to chase greatness against all odds. Canelo, the proven warrior, must defend his legacy against one of the most complete fighters of this generation. This isn't just about power or speed. It's about willpower, skill, and legacy. Who will rise and who will be remembered? Let us know in the comments. Who do you think takes the crown, Crawford or Canelo? If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more high-level boxing analysis, and ring the bell so you never miss a fight update.